So you're recording.
Yep.
Awesome. Wow. No, I'm nervous.
I am too.
No, it's not me.
I'm nervous.
Well, welcome, CC.
Thank you for having me, Randy.
This is our first podcast ever, and you've been gracious enough to be here for the last 37 minutes, sitting and getting our studio ready here and stuff, you know. This is called Studio on a Budget. And so we really didn't know how this podcast would go, so I told Carson, I said, Carson is my son, of course, and I said, let's not spend a whole bunch of money on something and all this stuff. We don't know how it's going to work out. But I'm fortunate enough to have a son that knows how to do all this stuff, put it together, and make sure that it sounds and looks professional on a budget, you know?
Yeah.
So thank you. You're our first guest on a podcast. So I'm Randy Jones with Incredible Tiny Homes. And you know what? Without that sponsor, this wouldn't exist. So Incredible Tiny Homes is our sponsor. And but I wanted to do it, and I know I talked to you earlier about, said, I woke up this morning thinking, anybody that thinks that they need to be on a video or show the world, they're talking, and I'm like, that's pretty arrogant to think that I think my life or my stories or the people that I want to interview or whatever that about me is arrogant to, you know, show the world. But I don't think of it like that. I can see people that would think that. But for me, I enjoy people. I always have. And
Same.
and I was raised on storytelling all my life since I was born. My dad would tell me so many stories. And then that got me into listening to other people's stories. And so over the years, I think I've learned a little bit about maybe how to communicate. I've never had any formal anything about how to, you know, how to start, stop, and end a conversation or anything. But knowing all that, I thought, you know what, these podcasts are going, and I'm the last thing to have another podcast because there's a million of them out there. But I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give them a shot at it. And I've met so many unique people in this community, and we're at Incredible Tiny Home Studio and in Tiny Town, USA. And you're part of this. We're going to get to your story here in a minute. But this is our first podcast, and I want to let everybody know that, you know, we're wanting to bring a bunch of stories and wanting to bring, I don't know what will happen. I mean, we may dance on the table. We may eat chicken here and cook and whoever knows what, you know. But right now, this is where we're at. I thought about having a portable studio. We could travel the country and go meet people that are in their positions because nobody does that. But I just want to say thank you. I met you probably a couple of weeks ago, I think, and you'd been here longer than that. But I've been so busy.
You're busy. You're everywhere.
Yeah, going, and I thought, man, and I heard so much about you, and I thought I've got to meet this lady. So it is all I can tell everybody. You guys are in for a time to listen to Cece and her life. I have no idea about your past, about what's happened. I don't really, all I know is that I was taken by your smile and your zest for life. And I looked at you and I thought, now that's who I want to hang out with right there. Yeah. And come to find out, so does everybody else around this place. Aww. You are like the sweetheart of Tiny Town.
I am just so happy to be here. I am. It took me a long time to get here. I'll say something funny. I told you this before. I've been wanting to go tiny. It's been in my life for years after my retirement. So I'm, you know, a little sick, battling some cancer, and so I had to quit, you know, retire early. But we would have been here sooner, but my mom and I were trying to live in a tiny home together, the biggest one we could get, without getting on each other's nerves, and we each had to have our own toilet.
Yeah.
And you get mother and daughter living together, and so we moved to South Carolina and got a tiny home and lived there for a year and a half. But Randy, I've been following you for 7 years. I've seen your ups, I've seen your downs. I wanted to get here when you started building the forest, but I was like, oh no, he didn't have any, you know, homes that would work. And then all of a sudden, things changed in South Carolina, and my mom goes, what about that place in Tennessee you've been talking about? She's like, let's just go. And I was like, let's go.
Really?
One Wednesday, we just took a road trip up here, found Coach Will, found a homes that we like, went back and started the process.
Wow.
And I am tickled that I'm here.
Yeah.
Tennessee is God's country. It's beautiful. You can be in a bad mood and you leave and you drive wherever you go. The mountains are everywhere and it fills your soul.
Mm-hmm.
It's just beautiful. And, everyone's like, oh, you're moving to Newport. It's, Cocke County, it's kind of poor and this and that. I don't look at it that way. I'm Midwestern. I'm from, decent city, Columbus, Ohio. Everybody here is nice. Everybody they've met in Newport is good, hardworking, nice people. You don't see the poor, good people.
Yeah.
And then coming here into Incredible Tiny Homes, the community is tight. There's different communities. There's the Grove, the beach, and everyone is so tight knit. And it's sisterhood, it's brotherhood. People are coming together. They help each other. It's amazing. And I am so glad to be a part of it.
Awesome.
I am just so glad to have the rest of my life here.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're not telling the whole story because when you came here, we don't have a place ready for you. And you bought into the Buffalo Creek
Yes,
and
sir.
the mountain across 160 acres. I've been trying to get done here for the last couple of years. And we're pouring it on. And you live in our closet, like out back, right?
It's called Overlook Pond.
Overlook Pond. Yeah. So we made some temporary housing slots, and your dear mom is in one of our houses, not her home,
Right.
Because it wasn't ready. I mean, so you've been kind of like suitcasing it and going, and we got your house done back here,
Oh, it's beautiful. Perfect.
and now it's like. My dad always liked the Grapes of Wrath movie. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, during the Depression, it looks like camp back here, Doesn't it? It's like a camp.
I'm telling you, it's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun. If you can't like kind of go with the flow, you're not going to want to be back there. I
Yeah.
have fun stories of different things. We're all real close back there, and
Well, you're helping the guys. You're giving them stuff to
Oh,
drink. And
yes.
Because a couple guys that work here live back there, a couple young boys.
Yep.
And
adopted them as little brothers.
yes. Aren't they good guys?
You have a good crew here. You have a good crew. I mean, as far as the people that work here, they're also becoming my friends as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, all right. So you're from Columbus, Ohio.
Yep.
And I'd like it. You share what you'd like, but I'd like everybody kind of know a little bit about you, where how you grew up, what was you thinking, and then you come out of. You're born in Columbus.
I was born in Dayton.
Okay.
Dayton, Ohio, hour away.
Yep.
Been there my whole life. Moved to Columbus when I was 23 I've been medical my whole life. So went and moved to Columbus, got a job at Children's Hospital. And
Okay.
Went
You
to
a nurse?
college. No.
Oh, okay.
No nurse, but I did do patient care.
Yeah.
I did a lot of patient care. And then my last job was a Muse System admin in Columbus, Ohio. And that was going to be my retirement job.
Yeah.
Until things hit the fan. But I've always been medical. So, and now I just went off track. One thing I will have to tell.
Yeah. Tell it all.
I have tumors in my
Tell it
brain.
all, yeah.
I have 6 tumors in my brain, and
Yeah.
my brain's got some swelling, so I have some deficit.
Okay.
PTSD really bad, cancer since 2019, surgeries, but I just don't want to focus on that. You know what I mean?
I know. Yep.
This is my 3rd time with cancer. It is metastatic. I know it's bad. It's in my bones, my liver, my brain. It's everywhere. But you know what? Every time I've gotten sick, the big guy up here has taken care of me. And I've learned and I've grown. And I thought, okay, I got sick the first time, I healed. I grew. I thought, okay, lesson, I've learned. Nope, got sick again. I said, okay, there's something else I need to share. I'm not done yet.
Yes.
Then we get to South Carolina. Things are okay. I'm not healing well. I'm not feeling good. And then last August, we bought into ITH, and then stuff hit the fan. And I found out, RA and gout and cancer. But Mom and I had already invested money. And I looked at Mom. I said, are we crazy? We're still going to do this, aren't we? And she's like, oh, yeah, we're doing it.
And your mom's like you. She's
Man, she is
she's a
almost
driver.
87 years young. She's a powerhouse.
Yeah. Good.
She goes, I want my own home.
So you
We're
guys just
doing
said,
it.
hey, we're dealing with this, but let's keep going with our dream.
And I've been blessed.
That is
It was,
awesome.
when you pick up and you have to have doctors, not just family doctors, but specialists, and you move to a whole new state,
Yeah.
they are going to kind of lose track of you a little bit before they can push forward for you. And where I'm at, I'm in a good place. I've got radiologists, I've got oncologists. I mean, I've got so many good people that are pushing for me, and
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel good. I'm in a lot of pain, but my spirits are good. I think I'm going to thrive here, and I'm going to heal in Tennessee.
Yes.
And this is my new family. That's my word, family. FRAM. Friends that are your family.
Isn't that cool?
So I have new family here.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, I have a feeling that you probably had a family everywhere you went.
I love people. I'm
I
like
know
you. I love meeting people.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I said everybody needs to meet Cece. And I wanted you on our first podcast. Yeah.
Thank you.
Because I could tell when I seen you, it's like, oh my God, you're like a
the first time I saw you, I was only here 2 weeks, and I was hobbling along trying to take a little walk, and I was like, "Is that Randy?" I was like, "Randy!" You probably thought, "Oh God, it's somebody else, that crazy woman." I'm like, "Hi!"
No, it's fine.
Trying to mow you down.
Yeah. Man, you're fine. And you know what? I'm just a carpenter, came here, built tiny homes, and then, we had to have some places to put homes, so we started building these communities. And, I used to have a resort back in Sevierville, and built that from nothing, just a scratch. It wasn't like I had a lot of money anywhere. There's a big story behind all that. But I'm like you. I love enjoying people. It's like we're like in this camp here, And so I've had to learn to navigate, socially in this camp because I build
Everybody
homes.
wants you
Everybody wants me to do something.
to do something
Right.
for them.
Not to check on me to
just
see how
to
I'm
say,
doing.
"Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah. So, and that's fine. I understand. It's got to get settled in.
Yes.
And once everybody's settled in and we all.
We'll leave you alone.
Yeah, we'll be good. So, but no, I mean, I was always love to have fun with people and love to be joking and just enjoy life because you know what? There's always something to complain about, isn't there? There's always something to be negative, and that is a choice we make. And
That
so
is
I've
correct.
known this all my life that when you choose to say, "Oh, it's raining again," "Oh, it's cold out," "Oh, we got a cold front," "Oh my God, it's rain," I never look at the rain or the weather. I don't care what it is,
Okay.
and it doesn't matter if I get up and it's not, the air conditioner's not working or there's always going to be something, And when I seen you, I said, that girl right there, she's learned something that everybody needs to learn. And it is the adversity that you've taken on. And everybody can see this right here, the smile and the energy that you have. And you're sitting here with some difficulties going on in your life. That right there, I said, that is to be broadcasted, and it's something that people need to see and
You're
experience.
gonna make me cry, and I said I'm not crying on the podcast.
Aw,
There's no crying on a podcast.
You're like Superwoman, man.
No
And
problem.
I seen it. I seen it across the aisle. I seen it across the building. I said, I want that. I want that's the kind of person I want to hang
What's
out
she
with.
drinking?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And it's knowing that I know the journey, not as much as your sickness and stuff, but I know what it takes to not look at life in a negative way, And it's so easy, isn't it? Isn't it so easy to go to the dark
Oh,
side?
it's very
That's
easy.
always coming to pull you. It's the same thing as being negative on like sending in comments or being on the social media negative.
What do you get out of it?
It is the easiest way to go. But to be positive is hard. It's hard to stay.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is in human nature. I don't know why we're so apt to be negative. But
Is negative more comfortable? I don't think so.
it's not, but
is-
it's easier to do. I don't know why it's easier just
I
to
mean,
combine.
that's what I meant. Is it just? Is
Yeah.
it easier just to be negative? Like,
yeah.
maybe. I don't know. I don't want to wake up. I wake up, and I just will. I'm not trying to make this religious. Like,
You're
whatever.
fine.
You have friends, Wayne and
Wayne and Sandy. Yeah.
They're wonderful people. They're wonderful people.
Yeah.
They gifted me, and I'm probably the last one to know it. It's a journal, a daily journal that you read, And I have journals from different people.
Yeah.
It just, one didn't talk to me the way this one does. It's called Jesus Calling.
Yep.
And Wayne and Sandy said, you'll be surprised when you read that journal, every morning you pick that up, it is going to be what you need for that day. She goes, she said it does that for me and Wayne, and I've been reading it to my mom. We read it in the morning, and it's what I need for the day, and
Wow.
it's amazing.
Really?
It's just amazing. I wake up and I choose to be happy. This is what I've told my son my whole life. You choose your path. You choose your happiness. Wherever you are in life, it might be a little bit of a crapshoot. Choose happiness. Make that crapshoot fun. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yep.
It's been a little crazy trying to transition around here and stuff. We've had fun. We've had laughter. In order for you to get where you want to go, you have to have some trials, some tribulations. Nothing can be perfect.
Yeah.
And if it is, it's not worth it. You got to
Yeah.
push for what you want, and you make your happiness.
Gosh. That's it right there. Choose to be happy.
Yeah.
Choose not to be negative. I had a buddy when I was 19, and he's down in Florida. We're still good friends. And we were in the gym working. I walked in this gym, and here's a bunch of guys working out, right? And here's this guy. Here he did this deadlift. It wasn't him, but his buddy was deadlifting, and he picked up this weight and he farted really big in the gym. And it went, yeah, that was stinking. Foster, my buddy, he runs over to this guy's butt and he inhales it real big, He inhales it and went, ah! And then he picked up a weight and started lifting like he got this supercharge from the fart, Well, needless to say, we're still good buddies,
I'm dying.
And
Oh,
that's him and I are just whatever. It was a stinking fart. We just inhale it, We had a flat tire. It was like, yeah, now let's see how fast we can change a flat tire. It was never like, oh my God, I got a flat tire.
Yeah.
Ever. Like nothing.
Choices. It is your choice. You're an adult. You choose happiness.
Yeah.
You choose it.
You choose it.
That's right.
Good. And you've chosen it. And
I
that's
have
why.
chosen it.
Yes.
I embraced it every morning.
All right. So when you were 23, you went to Columbus?
Yeah, moved to Columbus when I was 23.
Well, 23 years old. You're cranking, you're living, you're going, and you
Yeah.
living in an apartment by yourself? What are you doing?
I moved there with the gentleman.
Gotcha.
Wasn't there with him for very long.
Oh, dirty dog.
Dirty dog. No. Then moved in with my aunt, and then when I was 24, I got my own trailer. I had my trailer on the west side of Columbus.
Yeah.
And that was different, unique. I had to learn to be humble.
Yeah.
And then from there, I had different apartments, but I've always been medical. I was at Children's Hospital for 23 years
Gotcha.
in Columbus, Ohio.
Wow.
And then left there and went to Mount Carmel. And yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. Were you into sports? Were you into what? What
I
did you
did
do in your
shot put and
pastime?
discus when I was in like 7th and 8th grade.
Really?
And gymnastics when I was little. But I've always I knew Midwestern life was not for me.
Right.
Like, I'm city. I'm very city. I
Okay.
like my city things, but I'm a tomboy. So, I grew up in Columbus. We didn't have mountains. We didn't have that.
Yeah.
We had a little Deer Creek Dam in Inglewood. I was the weird one. So, I'm 54. I grew up in the 80s, and all my friends, like, they would have like the mall hair, and they'd go to the mall and they'd go shopping. What would I do?
Yeah.
I had my little Annie Lennox haircut. Hardly had any hair. I took my fishing, and I went down to the dam and I fished in high school.
No way.
And then I drew. They'd go to the mall and do that, and I just go fishing. I was just weird. I've always wanted to be nature. Nature soothes my soul. So I can't believe that it's taken me this long to get where I need to be to heal. Nature. Ugh, you stick me anywhere, and I'm just so happy.
It
in
just
nature.
calms you down.
Calms me down.
Isn't that something? And
Yeah.
you get all that noise. I know when your friends and culture and life going on.
And then you're just
It just.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to when I feel better that I can find little places to just maybe have a seat and fish, or
Yeah.
maybe just be in nature and relax and enjoy. Maybe float on the water.
Yeah.
Just small things.
Yes. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And Tennessee does that because I was raised Midwest too.
Yep.
You know, and,
Michigan, OSU.
Wolverines. Yeah. And I remember I was just a little guy. I was like 5 or 6, and I'm like, it's cold outside. And I would look, and you remember when I was a little boy, Elvis Presley had movies, on TV. And I was like, he did the beach thing, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to be on the beach. That's where I want to live. I want to be a beach. And it was just in me. I was like, I want the ocean. And so since I was 4 or 5 years old, I've loved the ocean. I just wanted to be a part of the ocean. I used to tell my Dad, why are we in Michigan? Why do we live here? It's cold, and it's factories and it's gray skies 300 days a year,
But the lakes are beautiful in Michigan.
Oh, they are.
They are beautiful.
Yeah, well, when I was a kid, Lake Erie would almost set on fire. Detroit River caught on fire.
What?
All right? And they called it Zug Island in Detroit. It was so polluted, you could not eat out of Lake Erie.
Wow.
It was the worst ever. Polluted, PCPs, all this stuff. You couldn't, Now Lake Erie is one of the cleanest lakes in the world.
Yeah.
They cleaned it all up. But when I was a boy, there was a guy that fell into the Detroit River and died because it was so nasty. So, and Dad wasn't the kind of guy to go, we went camping a little bit, but I always wanted to go somewhere. I always wanted, like you, I always wanted to go to the beach or the mountains. And then, of course, my family, my dad's family, everybody lived in the Smokies and down here in the Appalachian Mountains, That was a whole world.
And that was when you found your people. You're
You
like,
got
this
it.
is where I belong.
That's when I found it. And I thought, yep, there you go. So I knew of it as an early age, but it took me years to get here too,
Yeah.
your journey. So, if you had that desire for nature and to be alone and to feel it.
And I'm a loner. I am a loner. I love people.
Yeah.
So I am, what do you call me? You're probably this way too, an extroverted introvert.
You got it.
So we're extroverted, we love people, but when we've peopled too much,
Yep.
we got to kind of bring it into ourselves. It's just it's too much, and we need a break.
I'm good alone.
I am too.
Yeah, totally content.
I am very happy in my own skin.
Yep, that's what yep. And then when I'm with people, let's party. I'm ready to go.
Right. And then it's like, okay,
Back off.
now I need it. Now I need time to myself again. Yep.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, and in doing that, as our life changes, there's so many things in life we go through, from relationships to children and jobs and economy, good and bad and all that. And I've never wanted to know. Somebody asked me one time, would you like to know your future? And I said, no. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what's going on next year. I don't want to know what's going to happen next week. It's like, you know what? I want to get up every day, and I'm like,
There we go. Make that choice.
it's going to be a surprise.
It's going to be a great day.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to know. I don't want to. And I thought about it because everybody said, wow, if you knew the future,
I don't know though. I don't think I would want to.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I want to wake up every day and see what kind of adventure it's going to bring.
You got to put on your armor. Let's kill it today.
Do it.
Right?
Yep.
And to do that, a lot of times we got to map out our life a little bit. It's like, okay, I know I don't want to be in this situation, so because I got to be strong and I want to live life. So you try your best to navigate in either a place of location that you can live, the people around you, and then because it affects your life. And of course, which we could get into, is nutrition and about eating right and taking care of yourself.
Huge.
Is totally big time mental, isn't it?
It is.
How have you found your diet or anything that's affected?
I am just now finding out about, and of course I've been in the medical field, so some of my friends, if they see this, they'll be embarrassed, but ketosis and I was vegan. I did all that route.
Me too.
But
yeah.
I don't really know much about ketosis and all that stuff. Well, there's a guy here that works here, and he sells these drinks. It's from a company called Prove It, and I mean it changes your body on a cellular level. Like it is. These drinks are so compact. There's so much in them, and I believe with my immunotherapy and eating better and getting rid of all the sugars, the dairies, getting rid of all those triggers, and getting good ingredients in your system, you can totally change your life around. You can totally get healthy, but you have to have the right foods.
Yeah.
You have to get rid of the sugars. You have to get rid of things that cause inflammation.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm feeling healthier. I'm feeling stronger, and yeah, nutrition. It's
Isn't
huge.
that something?
It
I've
is
learned
huge.
that. Yep. And your mental health, it affects it so much, you know?
It really does.
Yeah. So,
You are what you eat.
yeah.
Well,
I know it. Eat
Right?
a donut, gonna be a donut.
It'd be like donut.
I like to look like a Krispy Kreme. Well, you know, with that said, you know, your mental health with what you're dealing with, I'd like to know more about what's going on with you, but at the same time, we don't want to give it attention. And I understand that. You know, we don't want to do that. And we're not going to go there because that right there, that smile is why you're here. And it's why I think people are going to love, you know, listening to this podcast and hearing about you and what you're doing. And sometimes I wish I see you as like, you know what? You need to go on tour, man. You need to pump this world up.
I want my goal, however God wants me.
Yeah.
I use me, however. My goal, I'm an open book.
Yeah.
So all 3 times with cancer, I've always had my Facebook open. I never opened it to the public. I don't know why I never thought of it, but it's open up to the public now. My goal is to reach people, reach women, meet whoever, to let them know my journey, what all's involved, the good, the bad, the ugly. I mean, I'm not trying to make myself look great. I mean, you'll see videos. I mean, I look at the videos and I'm like, good Lord, I looked horrible. That's not my purpose. My purpose is to share. There are people out there suffering from cancer that their friends and family don't know what they're going through because they're quiet. They don't know how to ask for help. They don't know what to ask for. And the people that are trying to help them, well, so I have helped so many people so far. They've seen my videos, whether they know me, they don't know me, whether it's helped them personally or they've helped to understand what their loved one is going through.
Yeah.
Maybe their loved one is going through this, but they can't, you know, I also want to be an outlet to come alongside women that don't have anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that God will use me somehow. The stronger I get and the healthier I am,
Yes.
I can be there for the women that don't have. And I want, now that I have metastatic, this is totally different. I want people to see your life's not over. Fight. You can fight. You can
That's
still
right.
fight it. It's painful. It hurts. There's a lot of things that go on. But if you want to keep living and you know that you've got something to contribute and you're not done yet, you fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is, well, you think about it, a person, a single person, maybe that having a lot of people in their lives, you get sick and you go to the doctor and they give you this diagnosis. I mean,
Yeah.
where do you go with that? Who do you go for support?
And see, because I'm medical, I didn't go to anybody. I've done everything myself. I've done all my treatments. I mean, I worked through chemo. I worked full time. I was a single mom. That's just that's me. I'm a very strong person, and most people are not that strong. But because of my medical background, what I did was I took myself out of the equation and I put myself in as the patient. And I said, okay, now I looked at myself as the patient.
Yeah.
And so I didn't need people taking me to, I was strong that way, but I also realized it's a lot. It's a lot of pain. It's scary. It's a lot with chemo and radiation and surgeries and just nonstop. I knew that I needed to get it out there. I needed people to see so they can fight for their friends and relatives, you know, or people can fight for themselves. Like, you want to keep going, you can do it. You can do it.
Yeah.
And don't give up, because
And
you're worth it.
I know you,
Yeah.
listen, so I've had a couple friends of mine that has had cancer, and of course, you know, Wayne is my buddy that is fighting it, and he shared with me some of the struggles, because when he gets up in the morning at 4:35 and his wife's still asleep and he's walking around the house alone, and he said, you know, that's his time to spend with himself. And he said, you know, doubt will creep in your mind, and you're like, oh no, the fear. can overwhelm you, And he said that's when he goes to his Bible and he goes to Jesus calling.
Faith over fear.
Yes. And he said, I have to get in there. And he said, sometimes it takes me, 15, 20, 30 minutes to focus and meditate on the positive and God's glory and why I'm here and this is okay. And then he gets his motor revved up and I was like, I'm ready for the day. And that
Takes
right
him a little
there,
bit longer. That's okay, but he gets there.
that's
He
the
fights
workout,
for it.
isn't it? That's the deadlifting and pushing them heavy, weights around that you don't want to do. But if you don't do it, the dark will overcome you.
Oh,
And I know
he's right there. He's
Yeah.
ready to ruin everything.
And I know the struggle with that beautiful smile and the positive, but when that door's shut, you're there and I know you overcome. You have
cry.
those times.
I cry to myself almost every night. I do. I break down and cry. Uh-oh.
No. I know. Ugh.
But I have my tiny house to cry in. It is my sanctuary. It is the most beautiful home ever.
Oh, it is. Oh.
And I lay there in my little home, and I go in my loft.
Yes.
My little cocoon. I'm up in my loft, and I'm just loving life. Love my cats, and I'm crying myself to sleep
Aw.
as my pain pills kick in.
Well, you just think about all the people that absolutely you have turned into the sweetheart of this community.
Oh.
I mean, absolutely. The guys talk about you. I'm talking to everybody. Have you met Cece? Have you met Cece? Met Cece? And
It's the people that work here. It's the community. It's people bring life. People are bringing life into me.
Yeah.
They are bringing life into me. These ladies and these gentlemen that I'm meeting and the
Yeah.
workers here, they're becoming family and they're bringing life and
yeah.
I love it.
Well, I want this. You know what? Now I've just found out why I wanted this podcast with you. And it's not about your past. It's not about what you're dealing with. It's about a future.
Yeah.
That's what this is about. This is
Yeah.
about excitement about living and let's kill life. Let's do it. Let's live and let's have fun. And,
Let's have fun.
Yeah, and that's what this is about. It's not about digging into it, but I think it's good to hear your struggles because people are struggling. And now that they know your struggles, now we're going to see you win.
Yeah, I don't always want to put
That's
on
right.
a video, oh, woe is me. I was telling my cousin this morning, was talking to her before the podcast, and I said, my videos are going to be upbeat. I said, I've got two
Yes.
parts. One, I'm trying to fight for my life, and I want to show people that. But I don't want to come on and, oh, I got radiation, and I want to be happy. And the second part, I'm living a tiny life, so I can't wait to, I've done little recordings and snippets here and there.
Yeah.
And all my friends back home, they're so excited.
Gosh,
I'm trying to get
really?
people to move to Tennessee. I'm like, come on, check out Tiny Home. Come on.
Yeah. If I could, I'd park everybody in parking lots and everything. I'd have them all hooked up extension cords and everything. I don't care. I was like, yeah, move here,
Right?
And I got the county telling me, you can't do that, Randy. You can't
Oh,
keep piling
God.
people in here, But I know people need places to live,
Oh, for sure.
And it's fun. It's just like we're all hanging out.
It's fun. And again, what I was telling you before we started the podcast, my motto, have less, do more. You don't need stuff.
Yeah.
You don't need stuff.
Yeah.
You find an area that you like, it's warmer, you got your indoor, your outdoor. I mean, you just don't need stuff. You have less, you can enjoy life. You don't have all those bills. You don't have it. It's noise. You don't have
Yeah.
all that noise. You
Yeah.
clear all the noise and you wake up and you can be positive. The more noise that you have
Yeah.
to get rid of in the morning,
Right.
it's harder to get positive. There's
Okay.
too much. You get rid of all that noise and all that clutter, whether it's mental clutter, physical clutter, and it becomes clear.
Do you have a routine in the morning?
I do now. I did not. I'm a routine person, and I do now. I have a routine.
Can you share a little bit of?
All I do is I set my alarm clock for 6:30 or 7, make sure I'm up. I get my protein shake in. I get the house vacuum cleaned, whatever. I'm showered. I'm good for the day. And then I always have something on my calendar. But for me, I have to have a purpose. I have to reason to get up. I
Okay.
get up to... It's not a whole lot, but I haven't had much to have a lot of hope for. I get up to have that protein shake because I'm going to tell you what, that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And I get up to have that, and I get up to wake up in the morning and just to be able to just sit there, and it's not hot yet, and the world is quiet, and I have my peace and my time. And it's huge. Instead of sleeping in until 10 or 11, wake up, get up early, set your
Yeah.
alarm clock. Have some time with God, relax, get your game plan on for the day.
Good. Do you
Yeah.
know a guy named, he's got a podcast named Huberman? Huberman.
not. No.
Hubberman.
What is he? What is his
So
podcast?
he's a professor at Stanford, and he's a neurologist, and he's also a neurologist through optical. So he's through the eyes. He studies how much our eyes work in our bodies and our minds and our mental health and all that stuff.
Wow.
Super interesting, you know. And he talks about nutrition and from mental health and all. And one thing that he showed, and I want you to listen to him, but in the morning when the sun is just cresting up, right, our circadian rhythm that we have in our minds and our mental health is we need to be outside and you need to look at the horizon as the sun comes up, right?
Really?
Even if it's up in the sky a little bit, if you can look at the sun before it's real bright,
Yeah.
it's massively healthy for your mind and your eyesight. And you need about 20, 30 minutes. And if you
Really?
can't look at the sun, look off to the side a little bit. And you can't look through a windshield, like driving to work doesn't count.
No windows, you need to
No.
be outside.
And get your feet on the ground, barefoot,
Okay.
and look at the horizon, that sun for have your coffee and sit there and just keep looking at the sky as it
I'm
comes
going to
up.
try that tomorrow morning.
And it's so good, it will build that mental health and gets that vitality, and it's good for your everything. Anyway, I like watching this guy. And Huberman, yeah. And he's a Stanford, professor, practicing professor, doing research and all that. And I'm finding, like they talk about the hot and cold therapy and all this stuff. So I'm
Yep.
going to get your butt in my sauna, and then I'm going to get you in a cold bath.
Woo!
Yes.
I'll
Now,
try it. I'll
I'm
try
like-
anything.
And that's supposed to reduce inflammation and all that.
I need
so
that.
I'm going to put you on the protocol. Yeah, that's good.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you know what? I've been wanting. The more I get into this, not longevity, but just health, just trying to feel better, right? A little bit. And I thought about, I'd love to have a wellness center, right?
Oh,
And I would love for you to be able to get up and say, I'm going to the center this morning, and I'm gonna, for just pennies, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get in the sauna, and I'm gonna get into the red light therapy, and then I'm gonna get
wouldn't
into
that
the
be
oxygen.
nice? Oh.
You can breathe oxygen. You're
Uh-huh.
on a treadmill, and you breathe 100% oxygen, which cancer does not live in an oxygenated, body. And so you get tons of oxygen, and it just costs pennies to do it instead of having these multi-million-dollar, buildings and facilities that people have to pay to get it done,
Yeah.
And I've learned this from Wayne, my buddy who's fighting cancer, and he's got this huge air mattress, right? And I bought him, my buddy in Florida, the guy that farted or snorted the fart. He works in the medical field, and he sent me 2 concentrators, and they make oxygen,
Uh-huh.
right? So I gave one to Wayne, and he's pumping that oxygen into that big mattress, and he's got
Oh.
it hanging from his ceiling.
What?
So, and then he's got these cords that come into a mask, and so he gets on his treadmill and he's walking or a bicycle,
Oh my
and then so he
gosh.
starts breathing 100% oxygen
Okay.
until that mattress is there's nothing left,
Wow.
and it lasts about 15-20 minutes because oxygen in your oxygenated body fights cancer.
I've got a concentrator at home. I haven't given my oxygen up yet, and
Yeah.
I don't want to. I might need it.
I'm gonna hang you a mattress inside your house. You're gonna snort oxygen, all right? And then he's got red light because he's got a tumor on his lung. So he takes red light and he puts it on his chest and does red light therapy. Don't know if that really helps or not. No, all this stuff, but you know what it
Never
does
know.
help. It makes you feel good.
That-
You're
that's
fighting
right.
it. You know,
That's right.
You're
That's
fighting
right.
it, and he's fighting it with nutrition and with all these protocols in place. And I've met his doctors, and now they're my doctors, and I like them, even though I don't have cancer. But I'm like, you know what? I want to live an anti-cancer lifestyle.
Yeah.
I want to start living So we can prevent these things or try. Who knows what? But you know what? Just like you got hope, and what you're doing is making your mental health. You got, you driving
Got
it.
that drive. You
Yeah.
got that stimulate. You want to. You want to fight.
Do it.
You want to fight.
And that's what you are. Yeah. Just at the beginning of this whole podcast, I knew that smile and under the conditions you're in, I mean, that girl, she's learned the deal. She's learned.
It's taken me 3 times.
Yeah,
Third time's the charm.
it is. It is. Well, it's like my brother had, he's diabetic, and he's been overweight, and Sam's watching right now. He's losing a lot of weight now, but
That's
he ended
awesome.
up having a cut on his toe, and then the podiatrist wanted to remove his toe, and I'm like, Sam, you're diabetic. That's the worst thing to do. Well, it ended up getting infected really bad, and we thought he was going to die. I went
my
down there
gosh.
4 or 5 months ago, and the doctors had totally give up on him. I mean,
Oh
he had
from a cut on his toe.
yeah, they induced a coma. He had,
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if he had a flesh-eating bacteria, but then he had sepsis. Plus, he had 3 or 4 bad infections, and they gave up on him. He said he's overweight.
Oh my
He was
gosh.
a smoker. He's old, and he's got all these infections. There's no hope. And I looked at him, and I'm like, Sam, and he's all these tubes, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at him, and I said, and I know a lot of people. It's like you think it's not time for them to go. You look at him, like, but sometimes you think, I don't know, for something that overwhelmingly, I looked at him, I said, you're not supposed to leave yet. I'm gonna cry now. Because I looked at him, I said, don't leave me.
It's not your time. It's not your time.
I said, I need you.
Yeah.
I need you still, you
And
dog.
God knows. God knows.
Yeah. I
He
said,
knows.
and I could feel it in. I was like, you aren't supposed to leave yet. And so the doctors come in, and they're like, dude, you're looking, he's got 90% chance he's dying. And he said, get his affairs in order. Make sure that he knows, his better half and everybody knows how to get all this together and all that. And I was like,
Wow.
man. And I heard it, and I listened to the doctors, but down deep inside,
You were like, no.
I thought there's something there. And I listened to the doctors, and I actually, out of my voice, I said, yeah, we need to get him going. Yeah, we need to get his affairs in order. Yeah, but it was always fighting in the back of my head. I'm like, this ain't right. I tell you what, he went home Wednesday with a prosthetic on his leg.
This past Wednesday?
Yes. Walked in his house with a prosthetic. They removed part of his bottom of his left leg.
Yeah.
He has got prosthetic. He's turned his whole mental health around. He said, I want to live, Randy. I want to live. I want to travel. He said, I'm not sitting in this house anymore being, oh, dumb me. Why me? Why me? And he said, I'm on it. He's lost 40, 60 pounds.
Oh my gosh, Randy, that's wonderful.
The surgeon that operated on his leg, he needed a stent in his leg. He needed triple bypass on his heart.
Oh my gosh.
His kidneys were failing.
Oh my Lord.
Had 2 or 3 types of infection in his blood that was going to take him out. And the doctor, he said that surgeon came and visited him about 10 o'clock one night.
Wasn't his time. It
And
was
the whole-
not his time.
And the nurses on the floor said, this doctor never comes here at night like this. And he said that doctor spent 3 hours with him and said, I want to know all about you. I want to know why, because you were gone.
Oh God.
And Sam said, I have no idea. He doesn't need triple bypass anymore. He doesn't need a stent. All the infections are gone. And Sam said, I don't know why all this has happened. I said, because you're not supposed to leave yet.
It's not your time.
It wasn't your time.
No.
And I knew inside, and I just thought, when I was a little boy, he's 6 years older than me, right? So when I come around, he adopted me. He said, when you come home through the door, he said, he told my mom, he said, that he's mine. And sure enough, all my life, he has been behind the scenes, making sure that I'm strong, that I need everything that I need, and he has just been there for me.
And you want to be there for him, and you knew, like, no,
I
I'm
knew it
not
wasn't
losing
his
my
time.
brother yet.
Yeah, yeah. And so that's what I see in you. I was like, you know what? No, this ain't happening. This ain't happening. We got lots to do.
We do.
Yeah.
I
and
got lots to see here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got people to meet and things to do.
Yep. And I wanted the world to see this on my very first podcast of the hope, the joy, the peace, the journey, the strength. You are the epitome of everything that I see in my mind and how I want life to go.
You're gonna make me cry again.
The smile and the determination, and I know it's a fight, and I know it's you putting on your gloves every day to fight this thing, and I'm sometimes I think about why did we do this tiny home thing? Why do we got a community here? It's the last thing I need is all these people here, and there's a lot of headaches to deal with and stuff, and personalities of people. I got people that put a bullseye on my back that want to see me go out, to live here.
You do.
And I'm like,
You
okay,
do.
well, you know what? All right, there's a reason, and I have learned so much about myself to overcome that. And I'm like, yeah, just
You
like
can't make everybody happy.
No, you
You
can't.
cannot.
And you got to just keep on living. So I've dug deep inside to where I need to focus, like you do every day.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's making us stronger. So the fight that we fight every day makes us even stronger
It
and
does.
stronger and a better person.
It
So I
does.
say, you know what? Bring it on.
That's right.
Bring it on. I've had the local newspaper slamming me. I've had people living here slamming me. I've had every comment slamming me. And I'm
But
like,
you also have a lot of people that back you.
yes.
A lot of people that back you.
Yes.
And you have your videos are good, bad, and ugly. You will go on and you will admit mistakes that you or your company made.
Yeah.
You will say how you're trying to rectify them. You will tell about how much it takes to build a structure. Oh, I'm just going to take the side of this mountain. I'm going to make some homes. Who does that? You take the time. You break it down. You tell us how you have to do this and that.
Yeah.
You are transparent. You are honest. You are kind-hearted, and it shows.
Good.
And there's a lot of naysayers and haters out there, but you have a lot of people that back you.
Yeah.
Because you know what people need.
I don't think
people
people-
need homes.
Yeah.
People need places to put the homes, and you are trying your hardest.
I don't think people believe that somebody can have this mindset. I think that's the part. They just like,
They're jealous.
oh, I don't understand that because,
Well, we have a positive mindset and we're happy.
Yeah.
There's people that live in their own misery every day and they can't get out of their own way to be happy.
Yeah.
They are in their own way. And so I think because you are so secure and you're happy and you're trying so hard, they're jealous. There's jealous people out there.
that's so hard for me to grab in my brain and to actually, I try to put myself in their position, or somebody's position, however they feel. I just can't go there because I want people to all be happy and to be successful.
Oh, of course.
I love that they've got great families and great
You want the
careers
best for,
and they got lots of money. And
I
I'm
wouldn't
like,
want negative for any of my
Yeah.
people I don't really care for.
Yeah.
There's not too many, but
Yeah.
I want happiness for everybody. I want positive. I want people to feel good.
I
and
never
be
want
happy.
anybody to hurt. And I'm
No.
like, how come this happens? I don't understand that, But I don't even want to dwell on that. So you know what I do? And that's why I love you. And I was like, you know what?
Be around positive, happy people.
You just keep on moving.
Yep.
Look up, keep going. And I'm not naive about, neither one of us are naive. We know the enemy. We know what's there. He's right here,
He is.
but we choose not to listen.
That's right.
And go.
It's a choice.
And my journey is nothing like yours. Yours is a massive, you got Mount Everest standing there and you're going to chisel it down.
You got trials and tribulations too.
Yep.
You chisel yours down. Yep.
Well, and that's what this podcast, I hope, is about. I hope that we can bring hope to people that are struggling, even with the minute things. Some people may just have a little hangnail and they're like, it destroys their life. But we want to help you look past that.
And your life doesn't have to be like, you don't have to be a brilliant brain surgeon. Your life is your life.
Yeah.
You get up and you make the difference in your life. You choose to be positive and you choose your path.
Yeah.
And again, my brain went, I
You're all
got
right.
something and I don't.
You know what I see? I see this
Oh, my brain's shutting down.
I see this 24-year-old girl, or in high school, right? When you used to go fishing.
Yeah.
So I see this little girl getting her fishing pole. And I don't know where you went fishing in Columbus, Ohio, or Dayton. Was it in Dayton?
Inglewood.
Inglewood. And here you go, 30 years ago, or more, and you're fishing, trying to be alone and trying to gather your thoughts and trying to become this lady, this woman, and where am I going to go in this journey of life? And you just knew that that place was a refuge for you to regroup and to find out who you are, you know?
Be comfortable back in my own skin again.
Yeah.
And your life can, yeah, you don't have to wake up and be like, well, I've got brain surgery. And you can just wake up and be like, well, I'm going to be a good person today. I'm going to accomplish a little bit.
Yeah.
Just be happy.
I can see you walking into Food City down here.
Oh, I like Food City.
Yep.
There's the good one, and then there's the other one.
I know which
the
one.
good, I already know the good Food City.
Right. On the other side of town. Right. But I can see you walking into Food City and just grabbing an orange, looking in somebody there, and they're gonna see your smile, and you're gonna interact with them, and you're gonna make their day. And that's what happens. I know that wherever you go, there's an opportunity, you know, for you to smile at somebody. And I see that you doing that.
I firmly believe God puts me in, he's always done this since I was a little girl. He puts me with strangers, always has. So I've never had that stranger danger,
Yeah.
which you should. But God has always used me with strangers.
Ah,
And you never know when you leave your house and you're out and about, you don't know what somebody's going through. They could be thinking about killing themselves.
yep.
You don't know. It could be that desperate. And a kind smile or a word or something from a stranger can turn that person around, and they'll be like, you know what, maybe I don't need to do that today.
Yes.
And you've saved somebody. You don't know what smiling is free. Saying hello is free. Being kind is free.
It is.
And you just don't know how you could be helping somebody just with a kind smile. So,
Well, there's energy. I believe that there is energy that comes from positive and negative thoughts and actions. I believe that.
I do too.
And you can walk in a room and you can feel the heaviness of a negative conversation.
Are you an empath?
I don't know.
I am.
I'm sure I am.
I feel what others
Yeah.
feel. And
Yeah.
it's a curse.
My son Carson and I were talking about he can feel people that are like in another building. You know, it's like man.
Whew.
Yeah. But you know, to know how you feel inside and to be able to navigate that in a way that you're in tune, you know, with yourself and the people around. Those negative and positiveness can really affect the people around you. And I know that if you walk in a negative room and you bring a smile in there, you could change that entire room.
Yeah.
And I believe that what we speak or how we feel about the world and about what we do around people, we're not always positive, like you said, we're not always great.
Sometimes I'll be in my house just crying and cussing up a storm. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I
but
do.
we have, every human being I feel has a responsibility to try to do good. And when you do, it actually changes the world. It can change the world.
It makes you feel good. You smile and
Yeah.
somebody smiles back at you and you're like, oh, okay,
Yep.
hello.
Yep. I read about prayer. So prayer, everybody's meditating on the same thing. And so everybody in India right now, the whole country is talking about CC right now. CC. And they're praying for you. And they're praying.
The power of prayer is huge.
Do you know there's a actual physical thing about prayer and mental focusing on prayer and praying for someone or something, that there's energy that comes from that physical, like particle, and not just from God, but from physical energy. And they've proven that. And when I thought, that's true. So but the same power comes from negative. Mm-hmm. So if there's all this evil and they want to push evil through, it's there. And I'm like, so we have this responsibility to be positive. Even in our election coming up, our economy's tanking, you know.
You can always find a positive in your day.
Yes.
My thing is when you wake up in the morning, even if you don't have religion, let's just throw that out.
Right.
Not everybody has religion.
Okay.
Wake up in the morning, find one thing to be happy about. Okay. Oh my gosh. my next door neighbor, I was out of creamer, looked down. Oh, they brought me some creamer. Okay, that's lovely for my coffee. One thing.
Yes.
You woke up and it's beautiful out. You know, you get to have a barbecue. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm just
I know it
random.
is.
Just
Yeah.
One thing. And it doesn't have to be about religion. Just wake up and find one thing you like. I'm happy because, and start your day off with just one small thing and see how
Yep.
your day progresses.
And 230 homes here, we all have this opportunity to keep our eyes open and to notice what somebody might need.
That's exactly right. And that's what you have here. What I've noticed, I've only been here maybe, oh my gosh, have I been here for 4 months?
Are you
3 months?
serious?
I think so.
Awesome.
3-4 months. People are they're always bringing food. They've got tools. They're going to other people's homes. They're helping each other fix things up. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just, it is wonderful.
Yes.
I absolutely have found my people.
Good. Well, we're going to take you from behind the building and we're going to put you on a lot ASAP. We found a place to put you, I think.
Oh,
So we're going to get you to where you're going to be enjoying this. And I know you said your mom now is going to be going back home.
yep, to
Good.
Ohio, assisted living, which she's tickled about. It's good
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah. Her sister's there, friends,
Sister,
family.
nieces, friends. Oh, yeah.
Good.
She's going to be living her best life. Well, I'm here healing in Tennessee, honey.
Awesome. Well, I think if anybody could come to Tiny Town here in Newport, Tennessee, and if they could look you up, they would absolutely. It'd be the day they would never forget to come and meet you and be able to. I mean, to be able to visually see your smile and your eyes are so radiant. You are just, yeah.
I feel blessed. It's taken so long to get here.
Yeah.
And I feel blessed. I'm happy.
Gosh.
I'm relaxed.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what's your is it a Facebook that people are following you on?
Yes.
Okay.
Just my Facebook.
What is it? What is your Facebook?
It's Christina Shelby.
Christina
Yep,
Shelby.
Christina Shelby.
Okay.
SCHELBY.
Got
and
it.
Christina with the CH.
So just go Christina Shelby.
You'll
boom,
find me.
There you are.
And then you'll see CC in little parenthesis.
Right. Are you posting every day, every week, or how do you? Yeah.
Whenever I have some, I don't want I don't want to just go on and talk about nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gearing up to have some good stuff coming up here. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? With my home and getting healthy, and so I got good stuff coming up. But I don't post a whole lot. I tried to start a YouTube one. I don't know. My brain doesn't work, so I don't know how to do all
all right.
that stuff.
That's all right. You got to concentrate on you.
Right.
That's right.
But I do like to put out there what I'm doing, where I'm going, how many radiations, this and that, and
Yep.
what I'm gearing up for, and
Right.
So, but I want to start to be more positive because, I don't have the pain. I've got pain,
Right.
physical pain, but I feel strong.
Good.
And so I want that to
You
come
look
through.
strong.
I want that to come through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do. You look strong. You look amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we're going to see that big blonde curly hair come out.
I don't know, blonde, gray. I hope my hair's coming back in.
Oh, look at you. Beautiful. Hot dog. Yeah. And we had Singo the other night.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
Was that not fun?
First time I had anything to do with the residents.
Oh, we
had
laughed.
A ball.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
So it's bingo.
And you sing.
Yeah.
Oh no, well you don't sing. She plays the music.
Well, we sang a little bit.
Well, we did sing. We
Yeah.
sang. We didn't sing. We sang.
We sang.
We sang.
Yeah. So instead of your bingo, it's like all these words on this paper, and it's the name of the
They
song.
play the music, and then if you know it, you cross it off.
Yeah.
It's fun. Everyone's singing and dancing, and
Yeah, it's a great turnout. We had like 50 some people.
50 residents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're hoping we'll have more. And I know
I'm looking forward to Halloween. Mom and I were not here. We were here in South Carolina last
Yeah.
Halloween watching
Oh,
your
it
first.
was awesome.
So Mom's not going to be here this Halloween. It'll be just me. But I'm still sticking to. I'm going to rent a big popcorn popper.
Yeah.
And I'm adding popcorn to the equation. So I'm going to be popping it up down here for the kids and adults.
We had
and
almost like
1,500.
Yeah, 1,500 kids came on Halloween.
So
and I wanted
can't
to
wait till this year.
Well, Amanda and I wanted have trick or treat like when we were kids. Like we used to run door to door to door to door. In this little country town, you don't have that here.
and it's not safe.
Yeah, it's
so
not
this
safe.
is safe.
Yeah, it's contained. It's in a fenced-in community and
Good people here.
little
You don't-
bitty houses, and there are people everywhere.
Oh my gosh, we watched it. We were like, oh, we want to be there. We want to be there. So
Yeah.
now I get to be here.
Good, good. Well, thank you for coming this morning.
Thank you for having me.
This is cool. I'm glad you were my first guest on
Me
our
too.
podcast. Yeah, and I want to invite everybody. I'll have the whole world coming by here in 850 Industrial Road. I always say that, and to come and visit you. And if anybody comes to see you, their life's going to change. It will. You have a special thing going on in your life. You've been touched by something, all right? And you have this thing to share, and it is not of human. It is something that is, it's something about we're all going and we're all living, and to meet you is to bring us all back to that focal point of why we're all here on this earth and why we're all supposed to be who we are. And
I think we all have to come together.
we have to.
We can't fight amongst each other. We have to be supportive.
And right now, I'm telling this whole world, I'm what camera I'm at, I'm looking at, man, if you have the opportunity to meet this lady, she will change your life. And it's just her being her. Just being her. If you have the rare opportunity to be lucky enough, I'm gonna say it, lucky enough to even sit next to this lady, you'll walk away with changed. And I have myself been changed by you. Ever since I've seen you, I was like, yeah, that was no question. Yep, she's first time. I want to know. I want to rub up against you, and I want to just, man, I want to know you. Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's been an honor.
It's
for
been
you
an
to
honor
be
to
here.
meet you and to actually, like I said, I've been following you for so long, and to actually be here and see all of your dreams come to fruition, and actually be here with you. I'm happy. I'm
Good.
just tickled.
I can tell. And thanks for being here. We had to hang these curtains up this morning, and
This is
it was awesome. You were very patient.
Very lovely.
Yeah. All right.
It's very
Well,
professional.
Well, thank you all for watching this podcast. Hopefully it was something that you enjoyed. It was motivating. It was fun. It was exciting and entertaining. And if you guys want to, I don't know when our next podcast will be, but we'll be letting you know and how we're going to do this and where we go. I have no idea where this is going to go or how it's going to happen, but
Each podcast is going to be different with different people on different takes, and
exactly.
yeah,
So thank you for being here.
thank you for having me.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.